A glass and a half of full cream milk per half pound, and the dual pouring glasses on the label might be the only consistent thing about a bar of Cadbury Dairy Milk, Cadbury's signature bar. Cadbury websites claim the recipe has remained basically unchanged since the bar's inception in 1905. This would lead chocoholics the world over to conclude that a Cadbury bar tastes more or less the same wherever it's manufactured. In reality, the secret Cadbury recipe seems to have a lot of room for interpretation. A Cadbury bar made in one country can taste nothing like one made in another. So different, in fact, it's hard to comprehend that these bars aren't competing brands, but bars sold under the same brand name and title. The Brits use 23% cocoa solids in their version. The Australians use 26%, then recently tried to reduce that to 21%, until customers spit out the new bars in disgust, and the company promised to go back to their original recipe. The American version isn't manufactured by Cadbury at all, but under license from the Hershey Company. Who knows how many cocoa solids the American version contains? It ain't on the label. A Hershey bar has only 11%. So which Cadbury country manufactures the tastiest bars? To put the matter to the test, Doug's Republic invited 5 people hailing from 5 different Cadbury-producing nations to meet under one roof to compare their bars side by side. Each participant brought with him or her an assortment of dairy milks and nut bars, and each arrived with the biased notion that his nation's Cadbury bars were the most earth-shattering.
Very, very good.
Cadbury for Asian, Cadbury Malaysia lot.
I'm happy to be from the good old US of A. Makers of the finest Cadbury chocolate in the world.
Since 1824, the UK Cadbury, the only Cadbury worthy of its name.
Cadbury's Australian for chocolate.
To overcome these biases, our transcontinental taste test was administered as single blind. Only the administrator, myself, knew which bars were which. The dairy milks were sampled first, each assigned a number from 1 to 5. Then, the corresponding nut bars were introduced. Bar number 2, and bar number 2N, for example, would be a dairy milk and a nut bar from the same country. Although everyone graded the chocolates independently, there was a remarkable consensus in opinion over which chocolate soared and which one sucked. 4 agreed that the UK chocolate ranked on top, with a sweet, floral, and nuanced taste. Australia, largely colonized by British immigrants right up through the 21st century, followed at number 2, with a good balance of flavors, creaminess, and sweetness. The Americans, also allies of the British, yet more independent than the Australians, came in with a more independent flavor, but an independent average one. The American Hershey-made chocolate was creamy and loamy, but with an oily aftertaste. The Indian Cadbury was viewed with disdain. Not even Bollywood superstar Amitabh Bachchan, as the brand ambassador, could save this unbalanced, bitter, and gritty chocolate mistake. And earning the very bottom honors was the Malaysian Cadbury, a foul bar with a waxy texture, weak cocoa flavor, and bad aftertaste. Malaysia's subpar chocolate is what gets distributed throughout the retail outlets of Southeast Asia. British founder John Cadbury would be proud of his homeland for delivering the most fragrant taste, as he concurrently evolved into a racist and bigot after sampling what the Indians and Malaysians did to his recipes. Doug's Republic's opinion? Not even differences in local milk and variations in cocoa solid content could account for these vast differences in flavor. The Asian Cadbury factories use cheaper ingredients because they can. They lack centuries-long traditions of chocolate manufacturing. The bulk of the Asian Cadbury customer base lacks the palate to discriminate creamy from crappy, so Cadbury's in Asia delivers the minimum.
Next time you reach for a Cadbury bar, make sure you're doing the reaching from the right country. A glass and a half of full cream dairy milk can be turned into a lot of things, besides great tasting chocolate.